Welcome back. Today's we're counting down the top 8 most valuable different condition U.S. Abraham Lincoln steel penny and wheat penny coins that could be sitting in your collection, worth serious money. Let's get started. First up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny. Specifically, we're focusing on the one without a mint mark and in dirty condition. So, what's it worth in today's market? Stick around to find out. First, a little background. In 1943, during World War II, the U.S. Mint made pennies from steel coated with zinc instead of copper, which was needed for the war effort. This is why 1943 pennies have that distinct silvery look. If you come across one without a mint mark, that means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't include a mint mark on coins at that time. But what if your 1943 steel penny is in dirty or poor condition? Maybe it's tarnished, rusty, or has seen better days. Let's talk value. Now, in today's market, condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. Clean, pristine examples can fetch higher prices, but what about those that are worn or even dirty? In this case, if your 1943 steel penny without mint mark is in dirty condition, the value isn't as high as mint state versions, but it still has some worth. In dirty or circulated condition, these coins generally sell for around $0.10 to $0.50. But keep in mind, even though the value is relatively low, the historical significance makes it a fascinating piece to add to any collection. That said, if you find one in slightly better condition or clean it up a bit, it might be worth a bit more, especially if there are collectors interested in completing their 1943 penny set. And don't forget, always check auction sites or coin dealers for specific listings. Sometimes, a rare variety or error in the coin can boost the value even for dirty or worn pieces. So there you have it. A 1943 Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark in dirty condition is generally valued between 10 cents to 50 cents in today's market. While it's not a fortune, owning a piece of history from World War II is pretty priceless in itself. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny, but this time, we're focusing on the one with the D mint mark and in damaged condition. Curious to know its value in today's market? Let's dive right in. As some of you may know, 1943 was a special year for pennies. The US Mint switched from copper to steel due to copper shortages during World War II. The result, these silver-looking steel pennies. If your coin has a D mint mark, that means it was struck at the Denver Mint. But what if your 1943 steel penny has seen better days? If it's in damaged condition, maybe it's rusty, scratched, or bent. How much is it worth? Let's break it down. Now, for a steel penny with D mint mark, the condition of the coin heavily affects its value. While pennies in mint condition or uncirculated examples can fetch a nice price, a damaged coin's value is going to be on the lower end. So, in today's market, a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with D mint mark in damaged condition typically sells for around $0.10 to $0.30. Yes, it's a small amount, but collectors and history buffs might still find interest in owning one of these coins for its unique story. However, keep in mind, some collectors might be on the lookout for error coins or specific varieties, so it's always a good idea to check auction sites or consult a professional dealer just in case. If you think your damaged penny might have a minting error or any other unusual feature, it could boost the value, even if the coin is in poor shape. Errors like double die strikes or off-center coins can still be worth more. To wrap it up, while a 1943 steel penny with D mint mark in damaged condition won't make you rich, it can still bring around 10 to 30 cents in today's market. Not a bad deal for a small piece of World War II history. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny, focusing on the version with the S mint mark in fine condition. Curious about its value in today's market? Stay tuned and let's break it down. So let's start with a bit of history. In 1943, during World War II, the US Mint produced pennies using steel coated with zinc instead of the usual copper. The copper was needed for the war effort, so the result was the unique silver-colored steel penny. If your 1943 penny has an S mint mark, that means it was minted in San Francisco. Now, what does fine condition mean? A coin in fine condition shows moderate wear but still retains most of its major details. The coin will have some smoothness, but you can clearly see key features like Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks on the reverse side. Alright, let's get to what you're all here for: the value of your 1943 steel penny with an S mint mark in fine condition. In today's market, these coins are valued anywhere between $0.50 to $1.50 depending on the exact condition and demand. In fine condition, it's not rare enough to bring in a huge amount of money, but it's still a nice piece to have, especially if you're a fan of World War II era coins. If you're lucky, you could find a buyer willing to pay a little more if the coin has excellent eye appeal. Now, prices can fluctuate depending on where you're selling. Online auctions and coin dealers are great places to check current values. Sometimes collectors pay a premium for a coin that helps complete their set. But don't forget to look closely for any errors or special characteristics, like doubling or striking errors. These can increase your coin's value significantly, even if it's in fine condition. So there you have it. If you have a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with an S mint mark in fine condition, you're looking at a value of around 50 cents to $1.50 in today's market. It's a great addition to any collection. Next up, the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark. Specifically, we're talking about its value in very fine condition. How much is it worth in today's market? Let's jump right in and find out. So, what's special about the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny? After World War II, the U.S. Mint returned to producing pennies in copper, and the wheat penny design was still going strong. If your coin has a D mint mark, that means it was minted in Denver. But what does very fine condition mean for a coin? A penny in very fine condition has light wear, with most of the details still clearly visible. You should be able to easily identify Lincoln's features, as well as the wheat stalks on the reverse. Overall, the coin has a nice look, despite showing some circulation. Now, let's get to the main question: how much is a 1947 wheat penny with D mint mark worth in very fine condition in today's market? This coin generally sells for around $0.15 to $0.50. While it's not a high-value coin compared to some rare pennies, its price can vary depending on its eye appeal and how much demand there is from collectors. You can always check auction sites or visit a local coin dealer to see if you can get a slightly higher price, especially if your penny has particularly good detail or toning. Some collectors may be looking to complete a specific year set, which can drive the value up a little. Another thing to keep in mind: always check for any minting errors or unusual characteristics. Double dies, off-center strikes, or other errors can significantly increase the coin's value, even if it's in a circulated state. So to sum it up, if you have a 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark in very fine condition, you're looking at a value of around 15 to 50 cents in today's market. It may not be worth a fortune, but it's a great coin with historical significance and a perfect piece to add to your collection. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in a brown color shade and dirty condition. How much is this coin worth in today's market? Stick around to find out. First, let's talk a bit about the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny. This was the final year that the wheat ears design appeared on U.S. pennies before the switch to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. If your coin doesn't have a mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, let's discuss the coin's condition. In this case, the penny has a brown color shade, which is common due to natural oxidation over time, and it's in dirty condition. This means the coin has noticeable wear and tarnish, and it's seen a lot of circulation. So what's the value of a 1958 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in today's market in dirty condition with a brown color? This coin typically ranges in value from $0.02 to $0.10. While this coin isn't rare, its value can still fluctuate slightly depending on demand from collectors. For example, people collecting a full set of wheat pennies may pay a small premium even for circulated, dirty condition coins like this one. If you're thinking about selling, check sites like eBay or visit your local coin shop for current prices. Though it's not a high-value coin, these pennies are still popular among collectors due to their historical significance. One thing to watch out for, however, are errors. A 1958 penny with an error like a double die or off-center strike can be worth much more, even in dirty or brown condition. So there you have it. A 1958 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty condition and a brown color shade is worth around 2 to 10 cents in today's market. It may not be a big payday, but it's still a key piece of American history. Next up, the value of a 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark in extra fine condition. How much is this coin worth in today's market? Let's get started and find out. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny is a great coin for collectors. The S mint mark means it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which generally produced fewer pennies than the Philadelphia Mint, making these S pennies more desirable to collectors. Now let's talk about extra fine condition. In this grade, the coin shows very light wear, but most of the details are crisp and clear. Lincoln's profile is sharp, and the wheat stalks on the reverse still have clear lines, making this a highly collectible coin. Now, for the big question, what's it worth? A 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark in extra fine condition typically sells for between $2 and $5 in today's market. This value reflects the coin's condition and the S mint mark, which adds a premium because it was minted in lower quantities compared to pennies from Philadelphia. You can always check online auction sites or visit a local coin dealer to get a more accurate idea of the current market. Sometimes you might find these coins selling for a little more depending on demand, especially if the coin has strong visual appeal. And don't forget, check for any minting errors. Errors like double dies or repunched mint marks can add a significant boost to the coin's value, even in circulated or lightly worn condition. So to sum it up, if you have a 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark in extra fine condition, you're looking at a value of around $2 to $5 in today's market. It's a solid piece for any collection, especially for fans of San Francisco minted coins. Next up, the value of a 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark in very fine condition. How much is this penny worth in today's market? Let's dive right in. First, a quick history. The 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny was produced during World War II. If your penny doesn't have a mint mark, it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced the largest quantity of pennies that year. But don't let that fool you. This coin is still very collectible. In very fine condition, your penny will have some light wear on the high points, but most of the details will still be sharp and visible. Lincoln's face will be clearly defined, and the wheat ears on the reverse will have visible lines, although some minor wear may be noticeable. Now, let's talk value. A 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark in very fine condition is worth between $0.10 and $0.30 in today's market. The value range is fairly modest, but this penny still holds historical significance as part of the pre-war years in the US and can complete any wheat penny collection. If you're thinking of selling your coin, you can check auction sites or visit local coin shops to get an idea of current prices. Although it's not a rare coin, well-preserved specimens with strong eye appeal can sometimes fetch a bit more. One thing to keep in mind is to check for any potential errors or unusual minting characteristics. While the 1942 penny without a mint mark doesn't have many notable errors, any unique anomalies can increase its value, even in very fine condition. To sum it up, a 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition is typically worth between 10 and 30 cents in today's market. While not a rare or high-value coin, it's still a fun and affordable piece of history. Next up, the 1909 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark, and we'll find out its value in extra fine condition. Let's get started. The 1909 Lincoln Wheat penny is a significant coin in American history. It was the first year the Lincoln design was introduced, and if your penny doesn't have a mint mark, it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This particular coin is highly sought after by collectors. In extra fine condition, this penny will show only minor wear. The details are still quite sharp, with Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks on the reverse being clearly defined. You might see slight wear on the highest points, but overall it should look fantastic. So how much is a 1909 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark worth today in extra fine condition? You can expect to see values ranging from $5 to $20 in today's market, depending on the overall appeal and eye appeal of the coin. This range reflects the coin's historical significance as well as its demand among collectors. The better the condition and appearance, the closer it will be to that upper value range. If you're thinking of selling, be sure to check online auction sites or consult with local coin dealers for the most accurate pricing. These coins can sometimes fetch higher prices if there's a bidding war or if collectors are particularly interested in that specific year. Also, keep an eye out for any potential errors or varieties. Some 1909 pennies, like the VDB variety, can be worth significantly more due to their rarity. However, even without minting errors, a well-preserved 1909 penny is a fantastic find. To wrap things up, a 1909 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition is typically valued between $5 and $20 in today's market. This coin not only holds historical value but also represents a pivotal moment in American numismatic history. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos on coin values and collecting tips. Until next time, happy collecting.